I believe any Nigerian that comes in here, if you should stay here for one night, I don't think the next night that person will survive it.
Are the shelters in the region of Peel, their capacities are full?
We can't dither. We can't wait any longer. We have emergency solutions before the federal government right now that we need to be operationalized.
A month's house rent in a month here, it's 1 year in my country.
Very shocking, a loss of a life. Can't imagine. And you said this is a national crisis, this is an emergency.
I knew this was going to happen. We've been making these pleas to the federal government for help since July. I've had 3 meetings with them about this.
That's correct, they're overfull.
You know, back then in Africa, we don't know code. We've not experienced this kind of code, you know.
No more delay. No more delay.
We are outside this adult shelter, the male shelters. We have seen on the lawn there are so many tents outside there.
Well, horrifying to hear the plight of asylum claimants.
So did you had a house there in Nigeria?
Oh my God, we big house and good house is very cheap. There is no heat, sorry, it's always cold, you know, it's always cold.
रीजन ऑफ पील ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਸ਼ੈਲਟਰਸ ਵੂਮਨ ਸ਼ੈਲਟਰਸ ਅਲੱਗ ਹੈ, ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਯੂਥ ਸ਼ੈਲਟਰਸ ਅਲੱਗ ਹੈ ਔਰ ਐਡਲਟ ਮੇਲ ਦੇ ਸ਼ੈਲਟਰਸ ਅਲੱਗ ਹੈ। ਅਸੀਂ ਖੜੇ ਹਾਂ ਮੇਲ ਸ਼ੈਲਟਰ ਰੀਜਨ ਆਫ ਪੀਲ ਮਿਸਿਸਾਗਾ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਸ਼ੈਲਟਰ ਦੇ ਬਾਹਰ ਔਰ ਆ ਉਹਦੇ ਬਾਹਰ ਦਾ ਲੌਨ ਹੈ। ਸ਼ੈਲਟਰ ਓਵਰਫਲੋ ਹੈ, ਓਵਰ ਬੁੱਕਡ ਹੈ। ਉੱਥੇ ਸ਼ੈਲਟਰ 'ਚ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ। ਸ਼ੈਲਟਰ ਇਜ਼ ਫॉर ਹੋਮਲੈਸ ਪੀਪਲ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਕੋਲ ਰਹਿਣ ਲਈ ਘਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਲਈ ਹੈ। ਲੇਕਿਨ ਹੋ क्या ਰਿਹਾ ਸਿਸਟਮ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਰਿਫਿਊਜੀ ਕਲੇਮੈਂਟਸ ਹੈ, ਰਿਫਿਊਜੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬਾਕੀ ਕੰਟਰੀਆਂ ਤੋਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਆਏ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਕੋਲ ਰਹਿਣ ਦੀ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਨਹੀਂ। ਆ ਮੇਰੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਟੈਂਟਸ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਆ ਸ਼ੈਲਟਰ ਦੇ ਬਾਹਰ ਟੈਂਟਸ ਲਾਏ ਹੋਏ ਆ। ਸੋ ਨੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਕ੍ਰਾਈਸਿਸ ਇੱਕ ਕ੍ਰਾਈਸਿਸ ਬਣੀ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਮੇਅਰ ਪੈਟਰਿਕ ਬਰਾਊਨ ਨੇ ਵੀ ਜੁਲਾਈ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਇਸ ਸਾਲ ਇੱਕ ਅਲਾਰਮ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਔਰ ਅੱਜ ਵੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਇੱਕ ਅਲਾਰਮ ਕੀਤਾ ਕਿ ਅਗਰ ਸਰਕਾਰਾਂ ਦੀ ਤਰਫ ਤੋਂ ਫੰਡਿੰਗ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਈ ਸੋ ਕੱਲ ਰਾਤੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਇੱਕ ਡੈਥ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨਾਈਜੀਰੀਆ ਤੋਂ 21-22 ਸਾਲ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਗਿਆ ਇੱਕ ਯੂਥ ਸੀਗਾ ਉਹ ਠੰਡ 'ਚ ਉਹਦੀ ਡੈਥ ਹੋ ਗਈ। ਸੋ ਮੇਅਰ ਬਰਾਊਨ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਅਗਰ ਏਡ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਸਰਕਾਰਾਂ ਦੀ ਤਰਫ ਤੋਂ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਕੈਜੂਅਲਟੀਜ਼ ਆਉਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਹਫ਼ਤਿਆਂ 'ਚ ਹੋਰ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਹੋ ਸਕਦੀਆਂ। ਸੋ ਬੜੀ ਵੱਡੀ ਐਮਰਜੈਂਸੀ ਹੈ, ਕ੍ਰਾਈਸਿਸ ਹੈ, ਲਾਸ ਆਫ ਅ ਹਿਊਮਨ ਲਾਈਫ। ਸੋ ਹੋਟਲਸ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਵੀ ਰਿਫਿਊਜੀਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਸੈੱਟ ਕੀਤਾ ਗਿਆ ਸੀ ਫੈਡਰਲ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਦੀ ਤਰਫ ਤੋਂ, ਵੱਖ-ਵੱਖ ਦਾਇਰਿਆਂ 'ਚ ਵੀ ਸੈੱਟ ਕੀਤਾ ਗਿਆ ਸੀਗਾ। ਲੇਕਿਨ ਇਨਫਲੋ ਇੰਨਾ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਰਿਫਿਊਜੀਜ਼ ਦਾ ਕਿ ਓਵਰਫਲੋ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਸਾਰਾ ਸਿਸਟਮ। ਸੋ ਲਾਸ ਆਫ ਲਾਈਫ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਦੇਖਾਂਗੇ ਉਹਦੇ 'ਚ। ਬਟ ਆ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਟੈਂਟਸ ਲੱਗੇ ਆ ਆ ਸ਼ੈਲਟਰਸ ਦੇ ਬਾਹਰ ਇੱਥੇ ਹੀਟਿੰਗ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ। ਹੁਣ 0 ਡਿਗਰੀ ਟੈਂਪਰੇਚਰ ਜਾਂ ਮਾਈਨਸ ਦੇ ਟੈਂਪਰੇਚਰ 'ਚ ਬਿਨਾਂ ਹੀਟ ਦੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਮੁਸ਼ਕਲ ਹੈ ਸਰਵਾਈਵਲ। ਜਿਹੜਾ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਫੂਡ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਸੋਸ਼ਲ ਆਰਗੇਨਾਈਜੇਸ਼ਨਸ ਮਿਲ ਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਫੂਡ ਦੇ ਰਹੀਆਂ। ਹੁਣ ਇੱਥੇ ਸਵਾਲ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਕੀ ਇੰਨੀ ਕ੍ਰਾਈਸਿਸ ਹੈ, ਹਾਊਸਿੰਗ ਕ੍ਰਾਈਸਿਸ ਹੈ, ਸੋ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਸੈੱਟ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ, ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਸੋਲਿਊਸ਼ਨਸ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਦਿੱਤੀਆਂ ਹੋਈਆਂ ਰੀਜਨ ਆਫ ਪੀਲ ਦੀ ਤਰਫ ਤੋਂ ਔਰ ਬਾਕੀ ਸੋਸ਼ਲ ਆਰਗੇਨਾਈਜੇਸ਼ਨਸ ਦੀ ਤਰਫ ਤੋਂ ਕਿ ਆਹ ਸੋਲਿਊਸ਼ਨਸ ਨੂੰ ਅਗਰ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਏ ਤਾਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਨੂੰ ਟੈਕਲ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈ। ਬਟ ਡਿਲੇ ਜਦ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਲਾਸ ਆਫ ਲਾਈਫ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ, ਸੋ ਇੱਕ ਸਵਾਲ ਖੜਾ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ। ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਮੇਅਰ ਬਰਾਊਨ ਨਾਲ ਇਸ ਕ੍ਰਾਈਸਿਸ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਔਰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਰੀਜਨ ਆਫ ਪੀਲ ਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਡਾਇਰੈਕਟਰ ਹੈ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ। ਅਸੀਂ ਆ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਟੈਂਟ ਲੱਗੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਸ਼ੈਲਟਰ ਦੇ ਬਾਹਰ ਇਹਨਾਂ 'ਚ ਰਹਿਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨਾਈਜੀਰੀਆ ਤੋਂ ਆਏ ਹੋਏ ਰਿਫਿਊਜੀ ਹੈ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਔਰ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਕੁਝ ਹੋਰ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ 1 ਮਹੀਨੇ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਖਰਚਾ ਹੈ, ਇੱਕ ਮਹੀਨੇ ਦਾ ਖਰਚਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਰੈਂਟ ਦਾ ਉਹ ਨਾਈਜੀਰੀਆ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਪੂਰੇ ਸਾਲ ਦਾ ਉਹ ਖਰਚਾ ਹੈ, ਪੂਰੇ ਸਾਲ ਉਹਨੇ ਖਰਚੇ 'ਚ ਚੱਲ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ। ਆਉਣ ਦਾ ਰੀਜ਼ਨ ਕੀ ਹੈ? ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਨਾਈਜੀਰੀਆ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡਾ ਘਰ ਸੀਗਾ, ਬੜੇ ਅੱਛੇ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ, ਲੇਕਿਨ ਇੱਕ ਜਿਹਦਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਇੰਡੀਵਿਜੂਅਲ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਗੇ ਹਾਂ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਉੱਥੇ ਜਾਣ ਨੂੰ ਖਤਰਾ ਹੈ, ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਮੈਂ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਆਇਆ। ਲੇਕਿਨ ਜਿਹਦੀ ਡੈਥ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ 21 ਸਾਲ ਦੇ ਯੂਥ ਦੀ, ਉਹ ਵੀ ਠੰਡ ਕਰਕੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਉਹ ਸਾਰਾ ਸਾਲ ਨਾਈਜੀਰੀਆ 'ਚ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਵੈਦਰ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਗਰਮ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ, ਠੰਡਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਤੇ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਠੰਡ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਬਰਦਾਸ਼ਤ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ। ਸੋ ਇਹਦਾ ਸੋਲੂਸ਼ਨ ਕੀ ਹੈ? ਸਾਰੀ ਸਰਕਾਰਾਂ ਦੀ ਰਿਸਪੌਂਸਿਬਿਲਿਟੀ ਹੈ, ਜਦ ਬੰਦੇ ਬੁਲਾਏ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਏਡ ਦੇਵਾਂਗੇ। ਹਰ ਸ਼ਹਿਰ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਟੋਰਾਂਟੋ ਰੀਜਨ ਆਫ ਪੀਲ ਜਾਂ ਬਾਕੀ ਸ਼ਹਿਰਾਂ 'ਚ ਵੱਡਾ ਕ੍ਰਾਈਸਿਸ ਹੈ। ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਰਿਪੋਰਟ। ਓਕੇ, ਡੂ ਯੂ ਲਿਵ ਹੇਅਰ ਇਨ ਦਿਸ ਸ਼ੈਲਟਰ
Yeah, yeah.
ਇਨਸਾਈਡ ਔਰ
No, outside the shelter.
ਫॉर ਹਾਊ ਲੌਂਗ ਯੂ ਬੀਨ ਹੇਅਰ ਇਨ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ?
Yeah, today is my 30 days.
30 days?
Yeah, 30 days.
From which country you came?
Nigeria.
You came as a refugee?
Yeah, I came as a refugee.
Okay, so did you apply to your refugee status?
It's taking long. It's taking longer. The lawyer is I don't know. It's just taking longer. Than nothing has been done about it. When I came, I seek for legal aid assistance, and I got an assistant. So we are in the process, but I think it's taking longer than expected because the code out here is something else. It's too cold out here, you know.
So you live in these tents, or you?
Yeah, we live in this tent, and sometimes if you don't go in fast or on time, someone else will take your position and you sleep outside, you know. And that's how it has been. The first come first serve. So if you are fast enough to go in before others, it's always not enough for us to stay inside, you know.
So which country you came from?
I came from Nigeria.
Nigeria.
Yeah.
So these tents, you said you live in these tents. So is the heating, because now the temperature is 0 degree. So is any heating or food from here? Where you get those?
Yeah. Sometimes they provide food for us, and
Who provide food?
I think
Some social organization.
some
Okay.
social organization.
Okay, and heat. What about the heat in this tent?
There is no heat. Sorry, it's always cold. You know, it's always cold. As we speak right now, I'm my hands are freezing, and I was told it's not yet cold. It's still going to be more cold than this. Then that means they should expect all of us to die, because that's what is going to happen. If it's going to continue like we staying outside or sleeping outside, because the tent are not even enough for us, and the cold is already, and the cold is coming. More cold is coming.
Okay. One person he lost his life. He got died
One
yesterday.
person died. Yeah, one person died yesterday, and
From which country he was?
from Nigeria.
Nigeria.
From Nigeria.
What was his age?
It was 21, I think.
21. Why he died?
You know, back then in Africa, we don't know code. We've not experienced this kind of code, you know. We've just been hearing code and seeing it on television. But when we came here, we never expected it's going to be like this. Most of us didn't even came with a jacket or winter jacket or something like that. So when we came, we started experiencing this, you know. So it's just like a surprise, you know. We don't know this kind of weather even exists, you know. But
So what is the temperature in Africa in winters?
It's always hot, you know.
In December also it's hot in Nigeria?
Yeah, sure. It's always hot. In Nigeria, we use AC 24/7.
So then now you are here in Canada, such a beautiful country. Now what do you say? How you compare Nigeria and Canada?
Oh my God. In terms of now, because Nigeria is always hot, you know. But since we were born and raised there, so we are used to that system, and we are not used to this system. You see, like I believe any Nigerian that comes in here, if you should stay here for one night, I don't think the next night that person will survive it. If the person should survive the first night outside, sleeping outside, not even in the tent, at least in the tent, somehow, since you are many inside, the heat will go around. But if you should sleep outside, I don't think it's not good.
So did you had a house there in Nigeria?
Oh my God, we big house, and good house is very cheap. Not like here, what I'm seeing online. If someone should go and get accommodation, so expensive. A month's house rent in a month here, it's 1 year in my country, and you still have some change, you know.
Okay, you are saying that 1 month rent here in Canada is a 1 year expense there in Nigeria?
Yeah.
So then why you came to Canada?
Yeah, because my sexual orientation is what actually drove me away from Nigeria.
What?
Yeah, I'm actually a gay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a gay. So I'm saying it here because here is Canada. It's allowed.
You came because you are a gay.
Yes, because right over there in my country, if I should do what I just did now by telling you I'm a gay, I'm gone.
Okay.
Yeah, I must be stoned to death. I can be slaughtered. Everybody will be against me that very minute.
So your parents, your brother, sister, where are they?
Yeah, They are back then in Nigeria.
Okay.
Yeah, they are back there in Nigeria.
So you have plans to live here in Canada or go back?
No, I can't go back in Canada. Because wherever I go in Nigeria, as long as I want to express my sexual feelings or orientation, I will be harmed.
My message is for the federal government is to take some action. It's very good to sit and look at the stats and the statistics and projection, but actually we need action right now so there's no more loss of lives.
So Mayor, it's very shocking, a loss of a life, can't imagine. And you said this is a national crisis, this is an emergency because another life can be lost if aid is not received.
Yeah, when I heard the news, I got that email that we had a fatality. I knew this was going to happen. We've been making these pleas to the federal government for help since July. I've had 3 meetings with them about this. We got 50 on average to 150 asylum claimants sleeping outside the shelter every night. It's going to drop below zero. There will be more fatalities. So it's unusual to call a press conference outside of a shelter, but it's a message that we can't dither. We can't wait any longer. We have emergency solutions before the federal government right now that we need to be operationalized. And it can't be in a month, it needs to be in days.
So what kind of solutions or what kind of aid we require from the federal or provincial
We
government?
have shelter proposals that could be funded immediately. If we get the go-ahead, we can have them operationalized in days.
So we have seen these all the tents, shelters, the tents outside the shelters, and what is the capacity is full in the shelters?
Right now, our municipal facilities are at 321% capacity. We have beds for 500, and we're at close to 1,500.
Many asylum seekers says that they were more better in their home countries than they are struggling now here.
Well, horrifying to hear the plight of asylum claimants. This is not the Canada that I know that helps lift those up fleeing persecution so that they can succeed in Canada.
So what is your final message to all the governments and to the people, residents of Peel region, because this is a shocking incident they see?
No more delay. No more delay.
So this is a shocking incident, loss of a life. You are the head of the region of Peel for homes.
Yes, so I'm the Director of Housing Services for the region of Peel and therefore responsible for nonprofit and government housing in the homelessness system.
So about this incident, are the shelters in the region of Peel, their capacities are full?
That's correct, they're overfull. So our shelter system is now operating at 321% occupancy. So we are full and we are in overflow hotels, and we've expanded our overflow hotel footprint as a result of the asylum claimant crisis.
Even we are outside this adult shelter, the male shelters. We have seen on the lawn there are so many tents outside there, and winter is 0-degree temperature. So what is your appeal to the governments now?
Yeah, so all levels of government have to cooperate and work together to stand up a response and provide the funding to remove people, asylum claimants, and all homeless residents off the street and into permanent housing. So we're doing that, and we'll have a report to Council next week on a solution that will remove asylum claimants from our shelter system and allow us to move very quickly to get them out of the outdoors, into a safer, more comfortable space.
Basically, you want to say that the shelters, these are for the homeless people and not for the asylum seekers. They are the responsibility of the governments, that they have to adjust them somewhere in the hotels, which they were doing. So shelters are for whom?
Yeah, so our position is that the shelter system is not the appropriate response for asylum claimants or any refugee seeking a home in Canada. So the homeless system is for homeless residents, and we don't have enough capacity to serve the homeless. So we are speaking to the immigration sector to say it is a responsibility of the immigration sector to stand up and fund a response for all those who are seeking asylum in Canada, separate and apart from the housing and homelessness system. We simply do not have the capacity to be able to provide clearly an appropriate level of service and support for this population who suffers a lot of trauma and deserves an experience in Canada that's far different from obviously the experience that they're having today.
So we lost this life yesterday. If we lose more lives in the coming days or weeks, who will be responsible for these?
Yeah, so we clearly are all working to prevent that from happening. And so again, all levels of government have to work together to ensure that no further loss of life happens.
So did you send proposal to the federal government?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.